The three stories I'm sharing with you tonight all have one thing in common. The danger wasn't out there in the dark somewhere. It wasn't a strange sound in an abandoned building. It wasn't something glimpsed at the end of a dark road. In each of these stories, the danger was right there, close enough to touch, the kind of stories that make you look differently at the people around you, the kind that stay with you long after you've heard them. 3 true stories. Let's begin. Our first story comes from a woman I'll call Mara. Mara works late shift at a hospital in Chicago. On a Tuesday night last February, her shift ended at midnight. She was tired. She just wanted to get home. She requested an Uber from the hospital parking lot. The car pulled up. Mara checked the license plate against the app. It matched. She got in. She was looking at her phone for the first 10 minutes, decompressing from the shift, not paying attention. Then she opened the Uber app to check how far away home was, and she saw the driver photo. It was a different man. Mara stayed completely calm. She asked him his name casually, like she was just making conversation. He said the right name, immediately, without hesitating. But his hands were shaking on the steering wheel. And in the 10 minutes since she had gotten in the car, he had not once looked in the rear view mirror. Not once. Mara texted her roommate the license plate number, so I'd call the police if she didn't text back in 20 minutes. 2 minutes later, the car pulled over to the curb. The driver told her to get out. He didn't explain why. She got out and walked to the nearest open store, called a different ride home. 20 minutes later, the real driver called her. Someone had hacked into his account. He told her 3 other women had gotten into that car earlier that night. None of them reported anything wrong. Mara thinks about that every time she requests a ride now. Our second story was sent to me by a woman I'll call Claire. Claire is 28 years old. Her grandmother, the person she was closest to in the world, passed away in the spring of 2019. Claire said she thinks about her grandmother every single day, and she has made peace with the loss, or she had, until last Thursday night. Claire woke up at 3:17 a.m. to her phone buzzing. Not a call, a voicemail notification. She picked up her phone, half asleep, and looked at the screen. The voicemail was from her grandmother's old number, a number that had been disconnected for years, a number that no longer existed. Claire sat in the dark for a very long time before she pressed play. The voicemail is 11 seconds long. Claire described it to me as mostly static and interference, like a bad connection from somewhere very far away. She has listened to it over 200 times trying to make out the words. Most of it she can't decipher, but at the very end, in the last 2 seconds, she hears her name, spoken in the exact way her grandmother used to say it, a way nobody else ever said it. Claire had the number traced. The phone company confirmed it was her grandmother's old number, disconnected in 2020, not reassigned. No record of any call being made from that number on Thursday night. No record of any call being made from that number since it was disconnected. Claire still has the voicemail. She told me she plays it every night before she goes to sleep. She said it's the only time she feels close to her grandmother anymore, and every time at the very end she hears her name. The final story was submitted anonymously 3 weeks ago. The woman who sent it asked me to change every identifying detail. I have done that. She had been married for 4 years. By all accounts, a normal marriage, normal house, normal life. On a Wednesday evening, she sat down at her husband's laptop to print a recipe. He was watching television in the next room. When she opened the browser, the History tab opened instead of the search bar. She almost closed it. Then she saw the searches at the top of the list. From 2 hours earlier, her full name, their home address, the nearest wooded area to their house, and then a question: how long before someone is reported missing? She told me she closed the laptop very slowly. She could hear him in the next room. The television was still on. He was just sitting there. She picked up her keys off the kitchen counter. She walked to the front door. She opened it quietly, and she walked out. She did not take anything with her. She did not say a word. She just walked to her car and drove away. She told me she drove for 4 hours straight before she stopped. She has not been back to that house. She has not spoken to him since. She told me the thing that scares her most, is not what she found in that search history. It's how normal everything had seemed. Right up until that moment. 3 stories. 3 women who trusted the world around them. The driver who knew the right name. The phone that rang from a number that no longer existed. And the husband who seemed completely normal right up until the moment he wasn't. The scariest thing about all 3 of these stories is how ordinary everything seemed, right up until it wasn't. Stay safe and trust your instincts.